Welcome in to our next leg in our race around the world here at the Pitstop Pals, part of the Reality Realm Network. My name is Kevin Oliver.
My name is Bruce Heller.
Hi, Bruce.
This is AA now instead of PSP. We changed the letters.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, so this is our uh not our AA meeting. This is our um recap for The Amazing Race season 16, episode 12. This is the
For,
big
for
one,
the record, there is
the
no
finale.
RAA meeting. We don't, Kevin and I don't attend those. Well, I don't.
I also don't.
All right. I'm just clarifying because you said this is not RAA meeting. So I probably need to specify that that's not a real thing.
But maybe you should go to a
MDA, is that
MDA
where you're going?
meeting. MDA meeting.
Mountain Dew?
Yeah. I'm doing anonymous.
Yeah, I'm good. I can stop whenever I want.
No, you can't. Um,
I just don't want to.
but you couldn't stop if you did want to. Anyway, this episode title is Huger Than Huge. Who said it, Bruce?
Was that a cowboy?
It was not, it was Dan.
Nice.
You good?
Yeah,
All right. Do you have any quotes from this episode?
I have a few.
All right, let's hear them.
I had to scroll back to the top of my note. I have, is California in the United States?
I had that as well, yeah.
And just because this is a bizarre thing, is I just got done reading the history of California,
Oh, yeah.
which isn't like that funny of a quote, but that just seems like such a random thing to have just read on your own.
I mean, he didn't just, it wasn't just on his own.
Oh,
They were talking about the guide to San Francisco that they bought at the airport in Shanghai after they
oh,
knew they were
true.
going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it was San Francisco, not all of California.
Well, I misheard it, but I thought he had said, like, when they were reading the clue. Oh, I just got done reading the history of California. I heard that at some point. I thought maybe I did.
It was San Francisco, not California.
Oh, close enough. It's in California.
But yeah, it was because while they were sitting in the airport, they bought the something guide to San Francisco.
So that became helpful.
Yeah. Got
I
anything else?
have. I'm gonna have one of these Star Wars guys take you out,
Yeah.
and then this isn't a quote, but I wrote down all of Dan and Jordan and Jet and Cord at motion capture thing at the same time.
Right.
Because both the two doing the motion capture and the two on the headsets right next to each other was incredible.
Yeah, it was funny.
So there's all of that.
It was a good time for sure.
Yeah.
Or was that it?
Yeah.
All right. I have Brent telling the Cowboys it's down that way all the way to the end when they got to the airport, uh knowingly so that nobody was gonna believe that he said that. He was just trying to jokingly send them in the wrong direction. We got San Francisco is a very gay friendly place. That's good for me from Jordan.
Yeah.
Um when Dan and Jordan got in front of Jet and Cord in line and Jet said that he can take his if he can take his gloves off, I can take my gloves off too. Well, he was about ready to fight somebody. We'll talk about that more when we get there. But um almost somewhere sounds like my whole life because
Yeah.
The cab driver said we're almost somewhere now. And then Cord said almost somewhere sounds like my whole life. Um, People who ride bicycles are smart. It's a general rule.
That's
Why are
why I
we
don't
in
ride
a
bicycles very much.
Amen. Why are we in America and no one knows where they are? Brent, because this cab driver sucked. Riding bulls is easier than that, Cord says as he came off the climb. Um, Hop and skip, crawl, belly move. Those were the things Cord was saying without a headset on, trying to screw Dan up.
Yeah.
Um,
And the best part is like Jet heard him yelling at us, like, am I gonna have to do all this?
yeah. And then when Jordan was spinning around in front of Jet and Jet couldn't move, Cord said, "Give Jordan a wedgie."
That's funny.
And then I'm gonna get these Star Wars guys to take you out. I had that as well. Jet, he's fixing to throw up, so you might want to watch out. And then Jet just goes, "I know." We also have from cab driver. Is there a rodeo going on at Candlestick Park? And Jet's
Fantastic.
response of, "It will be," or "It will be." Hey, I just realized you didn't get everybody back together at Candlestick Park.
Oh, that's right. We're still working on that.
Oh, okay. And my last quotes were Brandy looking at Katie and saying, "I don't want to hear sorry from you." And then Katie's response is, "I'm handling it. I'm the one standing here, not you."
Oh yeah, I have a whole note about that
Yeah,
interaction.
we'll talk about it when we get there. But
Hmm.
those are my quotes.
Hmm. It's
We'll
still
get there.
stupid.
We'll get there. Anyway, we're taking off from Shanghai as we start off. We are flying more than 6,000 miles to San Francisco. And when we get there, we're going to make our way to Battery Godfrey for your next clue. But they get to the ticket counter and it doesn't open until 10:45, so they're going to have a long wait in the airport.
Yeah.
Um, because Katie and Brent, the first team to leave, opened their ticket that told them where they were going, or opened their clue, tell them where they're going at 2:47 in the morning. So that's 8 hours from when the ticket counter opens. Um, but so we're all waiting in line for the ticket counter to open, and Dan and Jordan think they can be sneaky and put their bag right next to Katie in front of the sleeping Jet and Cord, and that means that they get to go second. Didn't love it.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I agree with you. I don't like that they kind of just went and put their bags second in line. That's I mean, it apparently not against the rules, but I don't like it.
Yeah. Um, and Jet was about ready to fight, man.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Me either. And then when they're on the plane, Dan and Jordan ask to be moved up to first class, and they just do it.
Why? Why did they accommodate them on that? That's so weird.
I know, I don't understand. Um, I don't know. The next time you're on a flight and you're sitting in coach, just ask if you can be moved up to first class. I can't do that because I was right on Southwest and they don't have first class.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's all
Nice.
one class. Yeah, Why you don't see anybody fancy flying Southwest, probably.
I think the key is have CBS and a bunch of TV cameras with you. That's how you get that trick to work.
So you think if Jet and Cord would have tried it, they would have got the same treatment?
I'm not convinced they wouldn't have. Like,
So
there's
do you think
no
if
reason they should have just been bumped up for free.
so you think if we tried it in 2027 that it would work?
Do we have TV cameras with us?
Yeah, like if we're
Um,
on the race.
I'm not convinced it wouldn't or would. That's just the thought I had.
Fair.
I think if anyone else on that plane had asked that same question, they get told no, though.
Like you mean like a random
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
Right. I mean, I just don't understand how it worked, why it worked, but it did. And they were like the first people off the plane. And so they're the first people to Godfrey Park or Battery Godfrey, where they get this clue that says they need to solve a riddle. And the riddle reads, I was built in 1933. I'm 210 feet tall. My insides are painted with my insides are lined with murals painted by 26 different artists. What am I? When you know, go to me and search for your next clue. The answer is Coit Tower. So then you go to Coit Tower, um, where nobody seems to know where they're going. Dan and Jordan, they got help from a guy on a bicycle. Brent and Katie, their taxi driver can't even get them to Battery Godfrey to get that clue. And they're about to crash out on this guy. Um, but this is where I have the Jet and Cord bought a book about San Francisco in Shanghai. And so they were able to find the info for that riddle right away and know that they needed to go to Coit Tower. And once you get to Coit Tower, you can get your next clue. You find out that it's roadblock time. Do you want to tell everybody what that roadblock was?
yes. You use an ascender to reach the top archways of the tower in order to get your next clue before being lowered back to the ground.
Yeah, 120 feet.
Yeah.
You had to climb up. The people who did that roadblock were Dan, Cord, and Brent. Um, and really, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation to be had about this. It's literally you're just pulling yourself up. You're
Yeah.
just pulling yourself up, and then we're done. We're moving on. And once you get that to the top, you get your clue, and it says that we need to find. And you probably really appreciated this. Find Yoda Fountain,
Yes, the Yoda fountain is so cool. I want one.
located in front of Lucasfilms.
I
I'm
want
not
this
a Star
fountain
Wars
in my
guy,
front
so this
yard.
didn't mean shit for me. But Bruce is a Star Wars guy, so he was probably fanboying out over this.
I want that fountain in my front yard.
We can probably arrange a replica.
I'd love to see what like anyone who drives by my house thinks with just a giant fancy fountain in my front yard for no reason.
But do you know how much your water bill would go up?
I mean, yeah, but I don't pay my own water bill.
I don't think the church is going to pay for your Yoda Fountain water bill.
What's the saying? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
I mean, they
That's
probably
terrible
wouldn't
advice. Don't
care
follow that, anyone.
that you have the Yoda Fountain. You just
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to run water through the Yoda Fountain. So let's just get you a Yoda statue.
Yes. But not like life-size Yoda, like a 90-foot tall, like Nebuchadnezzar height statue.
Right, right, like the or well, I don't know if we need to go 90 feet tall because that seems a little excessive. But like
It was
the
excessive back then, and he did it anyway.
yeah, but you're not King Nebby with unlimited money.
Well, I'm glad I'm not Nebuchadnezzar, but the unlimited money would be helpful.
Yeah.
I'd be really stupid if I had unlimited money, though.
You're already really stupid.
Yeah, but can you imagine if I had resources to fund my stupid ideas that was unlimited?
The world would be burnt down by now. I'm not convinced otherwise.
Like, I'm dumb and have entertaining ideas that are also kind of dumb. I got fussed at for calling myself dumb by one of the ladies at church yesterday. I didn't call myself dumb. I said I'm not smart,
Mm,
which you hear me do all the time. And
yeah.
but I'm smart in some aspects, so she fussed at me for that, which kind of made me chuckle.
Like if
But
you had the
what I
resources,
was
you would
told
have
was
a
what I was
fleet.
told was by her was I'm smart in the areas I want to be and choose to be. And then my mom was like, "Yeah, but sometimes he is kind of an airhead, admittedly." So she backed me up. And then honestly, that conversation started at sometimes it takes me a while to understand things, which we have had conversations that became debates because I just completely misunderstood what you were saying.
Right.
In that aspect, I'm not like my mind works very slowly. Where were we? I forget. How did we get here?
Well, I was about to
Oh,
say
dumb
that
ideas. If I had money that was like not just a lot of money, but kept coming in and was truly unlimited, I could
mm,
fund my stupid ideas. I could I could like buy CBS and like make my idea from last week of filming a Amazing Race finale where the finish line is the space station. Like if I had unlimited money, like I would be so stupid with it.
and the reason I say the world would be burnt down by now is because if you had unlimited resources, you would own a fleet of these um fires
Oh, the
flamethrower
flamethrower
drones.
drones. Have we even talked about those on this on the show?
I think so.
I one day I was just bored and looking at flamethrowers online because I was curious how much they cost. And Kevin texts me like he does every night, and I love that he does this. And says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I just texted him back. I'm looking at a flamethrower drone with no context, which must have been
Yes.
terrifying to receive.
Yes. Because here's the thing, like like those um like there's people that like program drones to do like a sky show.
Yeah.
Like they make different pictures and there's a lot of them. I just imagine you controlling that many drones, but they all have flamethrowers and the world would burn down. That's where I'm at with the unlimited resources thing.
Or I like do the fancy drone light show and make a picture, but the picture is a fire breathing dragon that breathes real fire. And there's just fire in the sky.
And then there would be fire outside of the sky. That's the problem.
Or I could be the world's most efficient superhero, and instead of like running after and chasing the bad guys and the criminals, like vigilante superhero Batman style, I just fly my drone after them, and when I get within range, just hit the flamethrower button.
And then you would be a wanted fugitive.
Batman's a wanted fugitive sometimes. He's still cool. He takes the law into his own hands.
I would
I
not
can be
recommend.
great value Batman. That is
Yeah,
not
and Great
a
Value
quote.
Batman ends up in real jail.
I That's a great quote. I don't keep a quote book in my phone, but I'm starting a new note that just says I can be great value Batman. That's made me laugh.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on
Yeah,
from the Yoda fountain that brought us to Great Value Batman. Um,
great conversation.
anyway, once you get to the Yoda fountain, you're gonna get your next clue where you have to go into the stunt area at Lucasfilms, and it's gonna be the challenge that is called Navigate a Virtual World. Do you want to explain that challenge?
Yes. So one team member puts on a motion capture suit like what they use to make video games or like animated shows, I think too.
Yeah.
And the other is sitting at a desk in a cubicle with a headset and is guiding them through a virtual course that they see on their computer.
Yeah.
And I'm the one in the suit because you're better with directions.
Oh, absolutely. Um, that means you have to listen to me, by the way.
I'll try. I'm predispositioned in my human nature to not listen to Kevin, but
Amen to
that's
that.
just science and nature.
Is it? Um, anyway, Cord, when they get there, Cord was wearing Jet's cowboy hat on top of his cowboy hat. I thought it
Yeah,
was really
why
funny
was that exactly?
because Jet had to take his off to put on the motion
Oh, the
capture
motion.
suit.
That's right.
And and then we already referenced this, but Cord is trying to mess with Dan, and it's hilarious. It was so fun.
Dave and Jordan get there first and they're already going. They set Cord in the cubicle next to Dan and he can hear Dan. So he just starts yelling loud enough that Jordan can hear it through his earpiece.
And Dan is like crashing out, saying, "No, don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. Don't listen to him." And Cord's like, "Do a backflip, crawl."
We also referenced when Jet couldn't go anywhere because Jordan was standing in front of him, and we get the scene of like Cord just leaning around the cubicle. Hey, direct him to move. Like
Yeah,
that was funny.
and Dan looks at Cord and says, "Shut the f up."
Which is a little extreme, but I kind of get Dan's crash out, honestly.
Yeah. Anyway, the searchers, the people in the motion costumes were for this challenge were Jordan, Jet, and Katie, while the directors were Dan, Cord, and Brent. Um, but once you get through the motion capture thing, then all these words start spinning around on the screen really, really, really fast. So fast that you can't read them. And so Dan had to have Jordan, and I mean but Dan's the one who figured it out first. Everybody would eventually figure it out. Spin in a circle so that he could figure out what the clue said.
Yeah. Also, and this is later in my notes, but since we mentioned who each did the suit, I
Yeah.
don't know if this was just editing, but Brent and Katie did this way quicker than the other two teams.
Well, I mean, we see that while Corden and Jet are leaving, Brent is outside waiting for Katie to get out of this motion costume.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's just editing.
they finished at the same time, like right around when Jet and Cord finished it, and Jet and Cord got there way before them.
Yeah, but to be fair,
That's they did so well.
Jet had to stand there while Jordan was spinning, and he
That's
hadn't
true.
even got to level two.
I forgot about that, but still,
It,
they did it really quickly.
and it took Cord forever to figure out that Jet needed to spin.
That's true, but still, props to Brent and Katie. You guys did that really quickly.
Yes, and that is also my note somewhere. Brent and Katie did really good at that challenge. But once you get through those spinny words, tell you that you need to go to the Tonga bar,
Yes,
um, where your next clue will be.
it's like those
And when
things
you
you use to cook burgers and hot dogs. Tong.
no, not Tongs, Tonga.
No, I know. I changed it for the joke.
I know. And when you get inside the Tonga bar, you have to find a trunk and take that trunk with you to your next destination. But the clue does not say where your next destination is. But there's
Yeah,
a stamp on top of the trunk that you have to grab that says the Great American Music Hall. And so that's where they need to go. Um, Katie and Brent fall behind because they have to turn around though, because Katie forgot their money and stuff at the motion capture challenge.
yeah,
Um, But anyway, once you take your trunk to the Great American Music Hall, you get to open your trunk, and inside your trunk there are. Do you want to explain this?
yeah. So, like you said, you're carrying this Tonga trunk to your next location, and then you open it, and it contains 8 psychedelic posters of the
11
eliminated
psychedelic
teams.
posters.
Do what?
11 psychedelic posters.
Let me finish. 8 psychedelic posters of the eliminated teams and 3 for the NELs. So it totals 11, but I was separating them by eliminated teams versus just not non-elim legs.
Right, but the non-limbed legs are also psychedelic posters.
I know. It was 8 posters for the teams, 3 posters for the legs. I don't
Yeah,
know why I separated it that way. But also psychedelics
yeah.
are illegal, so this is kind of sketchy. And the teams have to arrange the posters in chronological order to receive their final clue.
Yep, and everybody gets this on the first try. Jordan is a super fan. He wrote down all of this because he saw it coming, which everybody should see it coming. That there's gonna be some kind of memory work like this, and we get a riddle. I didn't write this riddle down, but it said something about Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Go here at the end. It's Candlestick Park where the 49ers play. That's where our uh
Where the 49ers played at the time. They haven't played
yeah,
there since 2014, and I think it got
right,
demolished in 2015.
right.
I was looking at its Wikipedia page this morning trying to figure out when they tore it down.
But this was like 2010.
Yeah. So it was near the end of its life.
Yeah. Um, but that's where the pit stop of the final leg and where the winner of $1 million will be crowned as Dan and Jordan are our winners of the Amazing Race season 16.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I at no point throughout the season thought, hey, this team's gonna win.
And yet here we
It's
are.
not as surprising as the Amy and Maya thing where they were legitimately like middle of the pack at best the whole season.
Well,
But
Dan and Jordan were
close.
middle of the pack the whole season.
It's close. Like it's basically the same thing, but I'm for some reason slightly less surprised.
That's fair.
I don't know
I
why.
mean, I think Dan and Jordan are an body of work better team than Amy and Maya
I
were.
think that's why I'm less surprised. Like they feel like a stronger team to me for some reason.
That's valid. They did win one leg, but it was because they got the fast forward.
Yeah.
Jet and Cord finished second. Brent and Katie finished third. Um, and the only notes I have post this are as Brent and Katie are running in, we have Carol on a slow clap and Brandy with her arms crossed won't even clap for them. And I wrote Brandy is a bitch. And then
Oh my gosh.
we get the quote, I don't want to hear sorry from you. And Brandy goes on this whole spiel. And Katie hands it to her, in my opinion. I was very happy to see Katie clap back.
Here's my note. You want to read what I wrote about this interaction?
I would love to hear it.
Carol and Brandy are still finding ways to make me dislike them. They may have lost the race and not be amazing race champs, but they are champs of refusing to own their own mistakes and champs of having no accountability. Which feels harsh now that I read it, but I stand by it.
No, you should. And the only thing that I want to push back on is
Like they don't think they did anything wrong, and that annoys the crap out of me.
the only thing I want to push back on is I would almost isolate it to Brandy.
Fair enough. But there's
Carol really didn't speak on the issue.
but yeah.
And
They
she at
when
least,
they got
like, it
eliminated, it
wasn't
was
like a
both of
genuine
them.
clap, but she at least did a slow clap. At least something. Brandy just stood there like this.
Was the slow clap real though? I kind of assumed that was like sarcastic, snarky slow clap of oh, I'm not really happy.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's at least something, is what I was saying.
But there's just it drives me nuts. They still don't see what they did wrong. There's no accountability from them. It's all someone else's fault. I that drove me nuts there. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's totally valid. So congratulations, Dan and Jordan. You are the winners of Amazing Race Season 16. I'm saying this like it didn't happen 16 years ago. But we are just recapping it now. So,
I have a terrible idea.
what?
So another show you and I watch is The Challenge, and like one of my favorite themes they've done is
Rivals?
rivals. And I'm now imagining Amazing Race rivals where was it Carol or Brandy? Which one was
Brandy.
it? Where Brandy and Katie are paired together for a race.
Maybe we should fan cast this.
There's not really a ton of rivalries like this, though. You can have Rob paired with Lynn and Alex, and it just be a team of three. But like,
I mean, there's
and
definitely
then just
rival.
pair Ron and Kelly together because they hated each other by the end of the season.
There's an that you could make it work.
This would be either great TV or miserable TV to watch, though. I don't think there's a middle ground.
Oh, you could do Jag and Izzy.
Izzy might explode. Yeah, we could cast that. That would be funny.
Yeah,
Kevin Oliver and Patrick or Kelly, or a team of three where it's all three of you.
I would purposely make us lose the first week.
I think the part of this I'm most proud of is that I said pair Ron and Kelly together again because were arguing so much by the end.
That was good. That was
So
good.
that might be part of my rival cast if we actually do this.
That
We'll see if I remember.
was good. That's good.
But yeah, Dan and Jordan win. Jet and Cord are second. Brent and Katie are third, but they get the satisfaction of telling Carol and Brandy, we're here and you're not. And you can't do anything about that. So it's great.
Yeah, good
Also,
for her.
Brandy said, I don't want to hear I'm sorry. You're good. She wasn't going to apologize to you.
Hmm.
So,
All right, so we always end a rewatch the way we start a rewatch, which is with a likability ranking and a power ranking. Um, which one do you want to do first?
um, Siri, flip a coin. It's heads. Let's do the likability rankings because the likable people have heads.
In the power ranking, people don't have heads.
I was make It's a reference to an episode of Friends I like.
Oh, okay.
That Chandler and Joey accidentally leave Ross's baby on a bus, and he ends up in like this. I don't know what it is, like this childcare baby room run by the city, and they're trying to figure out which baby it is. And one has duck pajamas and one has clown pajamas, and they flip a coin, and Joey says ducks is head because ducks have heads. And Chandler says, what kind of scary ass clowns came to your birthday party? So likability is heads because the likable people have heads.
That's funny.
I'll see if I can find the scene on YouTube. It's fantastic.
Right. All right, so let's do the likability ranking. Who do you have at 11?
I think you know who I have in 11. Do I need to actually say it?
Yeah, you have to say it.
Oh, it's Carol and Brandy, and it's not close. And I don't know that they actually would have been from like their elimination episode and them at the finale pushed this over the edge.
Yeah. So for me, I also have Carol and Brandy here, and I wouldn't have until the pit stop of the finale.
I part of me thought you'd still have Joe here, honestly.
Um, he was until Brandy did what she did
And he and
at the
Heidi are
finale,
second to last for me, by the way.
and they are for me as well, which is surprises me because you never hated Joe like I did.
Yeah, there's just not a ton of like people I don't like on this season. And the early teams, I just don't like a lot of these teams that went home the first few episodes,
Yeah,
I just barely remember. So, but I
I couldn't.
remember Joe being arrogant, so he goes here by default.
Yep, Joe was very arrogant. Couldn't stand him, honestly. He going into the finale would have definitely been my number 11, my least likable team of this season until Brandy did what she did. Brandy pushed back multiple spots by
Yeah.
doing that.
So Joe and Jonathan for the next season, just their CBS is gonna cast that team just for you, Kevin.
Joe and Jonathan.
Jonathan from 30,
37.
yeah.
CBS will never cast Jonathan.
I know, but like just for you, they're gonna put him with Joe.
The two arrogant people.
Yeah. But Jonathan learned a lot about himself after the race. So I feel
Yeah,
like,
and then he sued CBS.
no,
So,
no, I know he's not coming back because he's in active litigation against them. But if hypothetically, I don't think we see the same Jonathan if he does come back.
oh, I would agree.
But just I just wanted to see how you'd react if I told you they were pairing him with Joe because you didn't like Jonathan on their season. I didn't love
Yeah,
him.
no,
I
I
didn't
couldn't
dislike him
stand
as much as
Jonathan on
you
their
did.
season. What?
I didn't love him, but I didn't hate him as much as you did.
I hated how much how shitty he treated his wife.
That yeah, that's true. They were such a good team though.
Yeah, they played a great game, and I love Anna.
Yeah. Did they win?
No,
Okay. I didn't
they
think
got
so, but my mind is blank right now on who won that season.
they got third. Hunt and Holden got second. Winners were
Carson
Carson
and
and
Jack won.
Jack.
And I knew I'd remember it eventually. And remembering it 2 seconds before you said it ended up being the answer.
Yeah,
That was a good season.
yeah, and we interviewed Hunt and Holden on this show.
Yes. Fantastic.
All right, who you got at number 9?
Number 9, this is where I'm going to start putting people in that just,
You don't remember?
yeah.
Yeah,
So this is Dana and Adrian because I just barely remember them. They went home the first episode.
yeah.
So
I also have Dana and Adrian here.
these end of
Um,
season rankings, when we do the whole cast, is hard because, like, the first 3 or 4 episodes, I don't remember you.
these are the only ones that feel not memorable to me.
Joe and Heidi went home fourth. I remember them and everyone after, but like these first 3 teams, I'm kind of fuzzy on.
I'm only fuzzy on these guys, and the thing about Dana and Adrian was I don't think they're as bad a team as going home first. It all came down to crossing the tightrope.
I take
Dana,
that back. I
er,
remember I remember Jody and Shannon, the second eliminated
yeah,
team.
Adrian couldn't do it,
Yeah,
and that's why they went home.
yeah.
But they were pretty. They were lacking memorability. Yeah, for sure. Who you got at 8?
8 is I remember kind of liking these people. They're attorneys and friends, and they're both moms. This is Monique and Sean. There's
Oh,
nothing. There's
I
nothing I
loved
don't
Monique and
like
Sean
about them.
early.
There's just the teams that went home after them got a lot more of the edit, and I remember them a lot better.
I loved Monique and Sean early.
They were
Um,
fun. They just went
my
home third.
yeah, my number 8 was Jeff and Jordan.
That's fair.
Um, yeah, I mean, they weren't my favorite team. I was never rooting for them like you were.
But yeah,
Um,
they weren't a good. They won the first leg somehow, and then we're just not a very good team after that.
but they were funny. I will say that they were funny.
Yeah, if they weren't funny, they'd be next from me. The humor aspect kind of saves them a little bit.
Okay, keep talking. Tell me your number 7. I'm looking for something.
Number 7, I have. This would be Jeff and Jordan, but they were kind of funny. They had a fun dynamic. So let's say that this. I'm gonna go with Jody and Shannon here, but I wish I had could put them higher. I love them. This is just such a strong cast.
My
If Jody and
number
Shannon had gone deeper than second boot, they'd be a lot higher. I just don't have nearly as much content to go off of with them.
That's valid. My number 7 was actually Dan and Jordan.
Yes, we love Dan and Boy Jordan. They're probably 6 from me. I have them at 6. You have them at 7. That means
6, 7. No.
I was doing the hand thing as you said it. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So the thing about uh Dan and Jordan, I like them a lot. But I like the other 6 teams better.
Yeah.
They were fun, but Who'd you have at 7? Jody and Shannon.
Jody and Shannon, and 6 is Dan and Boy Jordan.
But they just weren't as like good on the screen as some other teams. My number 6 is Monique and Sean. I remember I really liked them early on. I wanted them to do well. And well, they didn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, um, who you got at 5?
Number 5, this is Jeff and Girl Jordan.
Mm. Do you want to elaborate?
They're funny. We got some great quotes out of them. We got some like moments where are memorable, even though it wasn't great for them, like stacking champagne glasses and you've got them stacked and you're pouring them and then they all fall. Like they're funny, they're memorable. I like the other five, however many teams are ahead of them better.
4.
Yeah,
But yeah. Yeah. Okay, Jeff and Jordan. My number 5 was Jody and Shannon. Um, I know they only lasted 2 episodes, but they were like uh, you know,
mm,
adorable. Grandma was adorable. And like the way that she was like cheering for people coming in, I was just like it made me be like, okay, I know, I remember why I liked them, you know.
yeah,
I'm after we go over this, I got something to talk about, but that's why they're my 5th.
nice.
Who you got at 4?
4, I have. This is where Brent and Katie come in.
You have Brent and Katie at 4.
They're really fun. I enjoy them very much, but Jet and Cord, Michael Louie, and Steve and Allie, I just like a little bit better.
So 4 for me is Michael and Louie.
That's fair.
Um, yeah, they're really funny and a lot of fun. Um, and honestly, for most of the season, they would have been 3rd for me, but not anymore.
Nice.
Who you got at 3?
Number 3. This is Steve and Allie. They're so much fun. I love them. And I like the parent kid dynamic. That's always fun for me. So, yeah,
Sure. 3 for me was Brent and Katie.
fair.
Yeah, I think they're
They're fantastic.
they really started to win me over there at the end.
Yeah.
I was not on the Brent and Katie train early.
Yeah.
Um, but I liked them a lot by the end. Um, who do you have at 2?
These top two are a toss up for me. I love both of these teams. For the sake of being different, I'm gonna go Jet and Cord too, but this is really close. These are both two really entertaining teams.
Yeah. Do you want to speak on Michael and Louis then as your favorite while you're at it?
They're just they're a vibe, man. I like they're former detectives. They had funny quotes all season. They're kind of relatable sometimes. Won 3 legs in a row at one point, which is insane. Like they're a ton of fun to watch, and so are Jet and Cord. Jet and Cord almost won this for me. So
Yeah.
two
Um,
awesome teams here.
2 for me was Stephen Alley. Um, simply because, you know, I really like I didn't really remember them going into this season. Um, but I really, really loved them coming out of this season.
Yeah,
But nobody could out rank for me Jet and Cord. There, I mean, they're. I'll be right back again, but I'm gonna continue talking while they were my favorite uh, team, really of all time. Not really of all time. And so it wasn't a difficult decision for me as to where to put them here.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, so that was the luckability ranking. Power ranking time.
Yes.
Who do you got at 11 in power rankings?
Uh, Number 11. And again, I think they could have done better than this, but I'm not going on hypotheticals. I'm going on what happened. So this is Dana and Adrian.
That's fair. Um,
I can only go off of what the show gives me. So
I actually put Jody and Shannon here.
that's fair.
I think that Dana and Adrian, I think the heights thing really got them. Outside of that, I think that they could have done a lot better. And so I put Jody and Shannon below them because I don't think that Grandma was ever going to be in this for the long haul.
Yeah, fair.
Who do you got at 10?
Jody and Shannon, because Grandma was never going to be in this for the long haul.
And this is where I had Dana and Adrian.
Yeah, they're kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. What about 9?
Number 9, not to be boring, but again, this is Monique and Sean. And Joe and Heidi went next, but they were front of the pack until the episode they went home. So
Yep.
I don't feel like I can put anyone other than Monique and Sean here.
I put Monique and Sean here as well. I didn't want to, but I did.
Yeah.
Um, but things get a little less boring after this one, in my
Yeah, I
opinion.
agree.
Who you got at 8?
Jeff and Girl Jordan.
Me too.
Because like they lasted longer, but like they were middle to back of the pack the whole time. Like they were just barely surviving. Joe and Heidi were like top 3, and I think until they just had one really terrible leg in the World War I episode.
hmm
So yeah, Jeff and Girl Jordan go here.
Um, yeah. What about 7?
This is where things get interesting and where I actually had to do some thinking because I kind of breezed through it up to this point. But I'm gonna go with Joe and Heidi here.
I also had Joe and Heidi here.
Like I really debated them and Steve and Allie and Carol and Brandy, but they went home fourth. But man, if they wouldn't have just had that really bad World War I, like Joe and Heidi could have possibly been in the finale. Who knows?
I
Like
agree.
they were
Yeah.
really they one terrible leg can cost you sometimes, and that's what happened to them.
So who do you have at 6?
6, this was Carol and Brandy, and maybe I'm biased because of where they were on my likability rankings. They outlasted Steve and Allie, but Steve and Allie just, I don't know. They feel like they're better to me. I don't know if I can explain why. Is
This might shock you.
it the same?
Um, no.
Oh,
Brent and Katie.
interesting. I'm okay with it.
I think that Steve and Allie had one bad leg, but I think they're better than Brent and Katie in an overall body of work. I think Carol and Brandy played a better game throughout the season than Brent and Katie.
That's fair.
Um, so I have Brent and Katie here.
And I'm going to put Brent and Katie next.
Okay.
They made the finale, but I agree with what you said. It wasn't a super strong race. They were very up and down.
Right. And I have Carol and Brandy here.
That's fair. And I have Steve and Allie next, too.
At 4.
Yeah, they got eliminated 6th, but like until then, they were pretty strong. It wasn't nearly as up and down as like Brent and Katie were.
Right. Um, I also had Stephen Alley at 4. I think that they played a good game,
Yeah,
generally, and it just didn't end up working out for them. But I still think that they did well enough to deserve a spot here.
yeah.
Who you got at 3?
Three. This is Dan and Boy Jordan.
Also, where I had them.
They won, and I'm proud of them. But it's the boy version of Amy, guy version of Amy and Maya. Like they won, but they weren't impressive, really.
Right.
Like at no point in the season did I look at them and think, "Oh, I think they will or could win." And yet here we are. I will say, when we did 25, I said early on that I couldn't explain it, but I had a weird gut feeling Amy and Maya would go deep, and I still
Yeah.
can't explain where that came from, but I was right on that.
And I will say that I did predict that Dan and Jordan would be in the finale,
Yeah,
and you didn't.
it's there's always there's usually like two or three teams that are clearly the best teams, and then there's always just one team that isn't in that group that sneaks into the finale somehow.
Yep.
And every now and then, like 16 or 25, that team wins.
Yeah. All right, number 2, who you got?
I will say, I guess there was two of those this time because Brent and Katie weren't really.
Yeah.
Neither one of us had them in our top
You
level.
you
But
had you had Brent and Katie reaching the finale.
no, but like as far as like power rankings, neither one of us had them like top three or four. They
Correct.
weren't
Yeah.
in that group of like these are clearly the best teams of the season.
Right.
They for me were going to be my team that just snuck in somehow, and instead we got two of those this finale.
Right. So who you got at 2?
Number two, I don't know off the top of my head. I would guess this is the team that has the most wins. Three of them were in a row, but they fell off their last few legs. Michael and Louie, like they had the highest peak, but like their last couple legs they fell off. Jet and Cord were more consistent.
They were. I think Jet and Cord were the best team of the season. Michael and Louie were the second best team of the season. Our power rankings were the same, minus
Except for Brent and
switching
Katie and
Brent and
Carolyn
Katie and
Brady.
Carol and Brandy.
Yeah.
Okay, Bruce, I have some look back at our season 1 thoughts.
Season one thoughts. We haven't watched
Not
season one.
not season 1, episode 1 thoughts.
Oh.
To where we believed
Oh boy.
um in likability and in power rankings. Um your feelings about your upper echelon of players changed a lot.
Oh yeah.
Your feelings about your least favorite teams stayed the same.
That was the same team the whole season. I know that was.
Right. So, oh, no, what I'm saying is both after episode 1 and after the finale, Carol and Brandy were 11, Joe and Heidi were 10, Dana and Adrian were 9, Monique
Oh.
and Sean were 8.
Here's the funny thing about that: the Carol and Brandy were my least favorite team all season.
Yeah.
Like after the finale, after the premiere, it was kind of like, well, I just don't like the vibe. It is what it is. I feel like with their elimination in the finale, they actually proved me right and gave me a reason when I was kind of just doing my own thing, maybe unjustifiably not liking them for a while.
That's
So
fair.
thanks to them for giving me a reason to be right. I like being right.
All right. Going uh your number 7 ranked in the preseason likability became your number 6 in Dan and Jordan. Steve and Allie were 6, went all the way up to 3. Louie and Michael were 5, went all the way to 1.
Yes, they're fantastic. I love them.
I believe that was the biggest jump on your side. Oh, nope. I'll talk about that in a minute. Brent and Katie were at 4 both times. Jet and Cord started at 3, ended at 2. Here's your biggest. This is your biggest fall. After episode 1, you had Jody and Shannon as your second favorite team. They finished as your seventh.
They would have been a lot higher than 7 if they had lasted longer than 2 episodes.
Yeah. And then Jeff and Jordan started the season as number 1 for you and ended at 5.
Wow.
Yeah. For me, Joe and Heidi were 11 and finished 10. Dana and Adrian were 10, finished 9. Brent and Katie were 9 and finished 3rd. Dana and Jordan were 8, finished 7. Louie and Michael were 7, finished 4. Carol and Brandy were 6, finished 11. Monique and Sean were 5, finished 6. Jeff and Jordan were 4, finished 8. Jody and Shannon were 3, finished 5. Steve and Allie were 2, finished 2. And Jet and Cord were 1, finished 1. On the power ranking side, we both had Dana and Adrian were not a part of it because this was after they were out, so we power ranked 10 spots. And both of us had Louie and Michael at 10 to finish at 4. Both of us had Jody and Shannon at 9, and they ended up going home the next week. Carol and Brandy, I had Carol and Brandy at 8. You had Dan and Jordan at 8. I had Steve and Allie at 7. You had Carol and Brandy at 7. I had Joe and Heidi at 6. You had Steve and Allie at 6. I had Monique and Sean at 5. You had Joe and Heidi at 5. I had Dan and Jordan at 4. You had Jet and Cord at 4. I had Brent and Katie at 3. You had Monique and Sean at 3. I had Jet and Cord at 2. You had Brent and Katie at 2. And I had Jeff and Jordan 1. And you had Jeff and Jordan 1.
Nice.
But what matters the most is that we did a draft.
Oh no, he's smiling when he mentions the draft. That's a bad sign for me.
We did a draft at the beginning of this season. Pick number 1 off the board was pretty obvious. I took Jet and Cord.
Yeah.
They finished second. Pick number 2 off the board was your pick, Jeff and Jordan,
Who had just won that leg, to be fair.
and then finished in 7th.
Yeah.
My second pick, number 3 total off the board,
Matt and Redmond.
Dan and Jordan, the winners of this race.
Oh well, this is over. You already won. You have the top 2 teams.
Your second pick, who do you think it was?
I don't know.
It was Brent and Katie.
Hey, I had
So
a
you got
team.
third. My third pick, 5th overall, Monique and Sean,
Nice.
finished 9th. Then you picked Louie and Michael.
That was solid. They won 3 legs in a row, and maybe
So I had 1
another
and 2, but you had 3 and 4. Then I picked Steve and Allie. And you picked Joe and Heidi. Then I took Carol and Brandy, and you took Jody and Shannon with the last overall pick. I finished with a score of 23. You finished with a score of 32.
Still feels closer than the one we did for 38. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like I did better.
Yeah, you probably did better here.
But I'm in great position in our network's biggest draft currently. So I'm feeling good about that.
Yeah, sure.
Because we've been incorporating the draft into the Tribal Council chat episodes a lot more this season. But you haven't been on those. How are you feeling about the Survivor draft so far?
Well,
You can't lose
unfortunately,
anyone again for a little while. Like you're not dead, but you can't lose anyone for a while.
yeah, correct. And I I don't think I will.
No, that's the problem. Is I don't think you will either. But You and my
Um,
mom are kind of in a hole where you've lost two people, so you're not dead like Steve is, but you're on thin ice currently.
I do want to say that I did say that Steve had the worst team.
I'm not surprised. It was Boomer, but every pick he took was a high risk, high reward, and none of them panned out. Well, Christian kind of has, but I'm feeling good about my chances so far. Like it's still Kyle's to lose, I think, but he's gonna lose coach soon. So I'm feeling good.
I'm not sure the coach is going to go soon. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Coach should have gone home this week.
I agree, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, true. We'll
And
see.
here's the thing. Suri ruled the vote. We just had this discussion. Suri, I don't think he's going to send coach out anytime soon.
It's mind-boggling to me that everyone keeps saying she's such a legend, we can't let her get far, and then they keep letting her get to the next round. You guys admit that you can't let her do this, yet you keep what are we doing here? You're making me look bad for saying you target her early because she's a legend, and you're saying I'm right, but you're not following through.
Exactly.
You, the player.
Exactly. I mean, I think that it's a bad move to keep her around, but I think she's running this game.
Yeah, Kaya will keep her around for. I still don't think they let her get to the end,
No, I don't think she wins.
but like Kaya will have her, but he's got Coach and Ozzy, and I'm not sure. I don't feel confident about either of those.
All right, Bruce, here's the thing. We talked about it earlier. I'm going to put you on the spot right here. Who is going to win Survivor 50?
Emily flipping gut reaction. First thing that came to my mind.
I don't hate it.
And I'll say this too. The other thing I like from this episode is learning that like Dee and Emily are super close. They are working together. Because I don't remember if it was like premiere or like pre-game interviews of Emily said something along the lines of, I can't lose to the same person twice.
Mhm.
So part of me thought we'd see what we've seen before if someone comes back and doesn't want to work with someone that beat them in the past. But those two, Emily and Dee, are tight. So I'm happy to see that because I like them
Yeah.
both and they're both on my team. So
Um,
this episode made me feel great about my draft team, if I'm being honest.
yeah, that's valid. Um,
Stephanie still, I don't know what to do with, but the other two I'm feeling strong about.
I mean, inside the game, Stephanie's doing great.
I thought I was going to lose her a couple weeks ago, but she turned it around. So when she was
Everybody's
the
problem
first
with
person to
Stephanie,
ever be the one in a whatever to one vote and not go home, I thought she was in a terrible spot, but she turned it around. So
everybody's thoughts on Stephanie are post Survivor 50 recording.
they just have, I, the season just hasn't given me much to go off of with her.
Right.
That's why I don't know what to do with her. I don't have much to go off of. I genuinely don't care what a survivor player's political views are, to be honest. They could be in favor of like all of Earth moving to the moon. I don't care. That's not why I'm watching the show. I'm not watching for politics.
I don't, I agree, but it's more than politics for me. We'll have we can
That's
have that
fair,
discussion
and
off the
we
air.
don't need to go down. But there's a section of the survivor fan base that will just fully turn on anyone that doesn't have the same political views as that. That's not.
Absolutely. Anyway, before we wrap up, because this is not a Survivor podcast, I'm planting my flag with the Riz God.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyway, do you have any more thoughts on Amazing Race 16 before we wrap up our coverage?
No, but it was a really fun season. I guess that is a thought. So yes, it was a really fun season.
Yeah, and you've been now introduced to my favorite team in all of Amazing Race history.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure that you're checking out all of our other reality realm coverage. Find us on talking about Survivor on Tribal Council Chat. Find us talking about um, the Traders with Roundtable Talk. Find us talking about the Challenge on Next Generation Challenge podcast. And this summer, hopefully, find us talking about Big Brother on BB Brains. Make sure to check out all of our socials: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you go to scroll. Find us, give us a like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever it is you do on those apps. Buy our Redbubble merch, and my friends, good luck. The world is waiting, or the world's waiting for you. Good luck.
Travel safe.
Go.
Go.